drown yourself. No, really, do it. In Minecraft. On the Hypixel server. In Skyblock. Specifically in this spot. It works, I swear. Fishing is complex. You press right click, then you right click again for slightly longer, and then you keep doing that. Riveting gameplay. But it's more than that. At least, it can be. Introducing Quick. It's a simple tech where, upon catching something, you hold right click for slightly longer than a click. Doing so will quickly recast your bobber and instantly kill a sea creature if you fish one up, assuming you do enough single hit damage. You also need to be the right distance away from your bobber. Too close and your bobber won't come out in time to hit the sea creature. Too far and you're being inefficient because your bobber is spending too much time in the air. So where is this sweet spot? Well, luckily for you, you clicked on this video for a reason. This is where... underwater. But really, this is the most efficient. If you have 300 fishing speed, that is. You see, there are two types of timers to be aware of. The first is catch speed, how long it takes to begin catching a fish. This is what's affected by fishing speed and, oddly enough, still counts down while your bobber is in the air. This is why, without max fishing speed, it doesn't really matter as much if you fish above or underwater. Your catch speed isn't fast enough to begin catching a fish instantly, so the time your bobber spends in the air isn't wasted, so to say. The second is your fishing timer. This is the number indicator that shows above your bobber when the fish particles appear in the water. If you don't see this, you can enable it in your settings. In the Skyblock menu, go to Settings, then Personal, then Fishing Settings, and click this to enable your fish timer. The fishing timer only appears if your bobber is in the water. This is why with max fishing speed, it's more efficient to fish underwater because your bobber makes immediate contact. Otherwise, your bobber spends some time in the air, ever so slightly delaying the fishing timer. Disclaimer, the amount of time you save is probably negligible, even if you look at it in the long run. But still, though it's overly optimized, I need some sort of limiting factor to decide the best. And we're starting here in the hub. If you saw my last video, I talked about the well being my favorite fishing spot. But as you can see, this well is a lot bigger. The best place to fish in the hub is actually the fishing outpost, specifically in the deeper part over here. With deep enough water, you can cast your bobber at a decent angle to quick cast underwater, which, if you couldn't tell, are the two requirements for something being considered a best fishing spot, at least by my standards. Sure, there's the ghost barn, but for the sake of simplicity, I won't be including ghost islands. There are two main spots to fish in the Spider's Den. The main pond outside the burrow entrance, and the lower pond next to the Crimson Isles jump pad. Unfortunately, neither are deep enough to consistently quick cast underwater. The lower pond is the best since it's only one block deeper, but sea creatures with smaller hitboxes still fly over your bobber. You could also try 2 blocks underwater, but again,
chicken jockey.
If you just want to quick cast normally above water, you can do that at either pond. Again, there's no place deep enough to efficiently quick cast underwater, but there are a few reasons to fish here. If you want to squid fish, this pond is the best because the rain has succumbed to consumerism. Buying rain causes squids to naturally spawn in the water and allows you to catch night squids without dark baits. If you have a private lobby, you can also barn fish from the waterfall here. This used to be possible in Ghost Islands, but unfortunately, the admins don't like fun. The only place with water in the Deep Caverns is the Slime Hill, and surprisingly, it's actually pretty good. From the lift operator, if you go left, you'll find this little waterfall here. Go to the very back and fish in the corner here. Unfortunately, the water does push you, so you need to keep holding left. But look at this. Why is this actually so nice? Like, of all the places, why does this actually feel like a decent fishing spot? Taller sea creatures get stuck in the block, and smaller sea creatures still get caught by your bobber since the area is so compact. There's no special sea creatures or anything, but still, during spooky or fishing festivals, this is actually a pretty nice spot to solo fish. There are a few other waterfalls around, but you can't quick cast in all of them. The ones that do work are this one with the fairy soul, the one we were just at, and this small one way in the back. The first place that comes to mind in the Dwarven Mines is the Abandoned Quarry. It's almost too deep, honestly. If you try to fish from the bottom, your bobber ends up losing speed before it can hit some sea creatures. But to fix this, just go slightly higher. Do keep in mind mithril grubbers are a thing, so if you're trying to catch specific event sea creatures, don't fish here. It's just one additional sea creature, but it's still lower odds to catch a thing you actually want. And no one wants mithril grubbers anyways. The other place to fish is here in the cave above the Rampart Quarry. Unfortunately, it's only 3 blocks deep, so it's not the greatest place to fish underwater, and ground level is elevated, meaning it's not a great place to fish above water either. Just don't fish here. You can quite literally build the specific conditions for fishing as long as there's a water source. All you need to do is dig a few blocks down, use some hardstone to create a blocker above the water so your bobber doesn't fly up, and voila! Although now that I tried this out for myself, I realized the water doesn't actually flow here. Interesting. But there is a solution, and thankfully it's right next to us. And that solution is running water. If we go up here, we can try to create a little platform, maybe a little lower down. And I just realized I did that very poorly, but I think we can still salvage it. And the answer is no, I cannot. Also, it seems I have caught the Abyssal Miner, but I'm about to lag out. Oh, never mind. Well, here, let's see if we can do that again. Though I may have just messed up by breaking that water, but we shall see. And there we go. Now we have this little tunnel going upward, and some blockers up top to stop the bobber from flying away. And now we should be able to quick cast. It doesn't look the greatest, and it's something that actually requires setup. But you know, the option is there, I guess. Like the abandoned quarry, there are some specific sea creatures that spawn here, so unless you're grinding bestiary or really want to get your own Piscary 6 book, you shouldn't really be fishing here. Barn fishing in the real barn. If you want something better though, go further up the aqueduct to this fairy soul right here. Then you can fish in the same way as in the slime hill in the Deep Caverns. This also works on the other aqueduct. It's kinda stupid that this works, but it's nice, I guess. Well. It's only 3 blocks deep. The only good place to fish on this island is below the dock here. It's only 2 blocks underwater, but the dock prevents sea creatures from flying around when you catch them. They land right in front of your bobber, which is very convenient. Every other spot on the island is only 2 blocks deep and with no dock. Why? This is the farming island that actually has unique sea creatures, so why are all the ponds so shallow? Absolutely unplayable game. And that is where you should be fishing in Hypixel Skyblock. If you're wondering about dungeons, that's for another time. There are a ton of rooms with water, and spawn conditions are random, so I don't really feel like dealing with that right now. If you're wondering about the bayou, I made an entire video going over every single hotspot and which ones I think are the best, so go check that one out. For the record, this whole thing is semi-serious, semi-joke. Underwater fishing does actually feel a bit faster than above water, and some places like the Well, Fishing Outpost, and Slime Hill I would genuinely recommend, if you like solo fishing and have the stats to justify fishing underwater. But hey, regardless of seriousness, if you found one of these fishing spots interesting, might as well give it a try. Worst case scenario, you're just fishing in a weird spot. If you liked this video, might as well check out my other content. Uploads have been a bit slower than usual, but that's because I have a lot of big projects planned for the channel, as well as an upgrade to my setup. So, be sure to look out for upcoming content. And with that said, thank you all for watching, be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one.